The Stage Door Show, celebrating the independent artist. With your host, Dave Hondel.
I just give him heat, right? Yeah. They told me let the beat ride.
Everybody, welcome to the Stage Door Show tonight. This is Dave Hondel. And guess who I have on the show tonight? This is his second appearance, Mr. Jimmi EZz. How you doing, Jimmy?
What's up, man? What's the deal? What's up, Dave?
Man, good to have you on the show again. I know it's been a while. Last time we talked, there was a pandemic raging. And guess what? The pandemic's still raging. What's going on out there?
I mean, as far as the pandemic, I really can't, the pandemic, honestly, is, it's just out of control too much for me. You get ups and downs with people dying from COVID and all of this. So to keep up with the numbers became a headache. I heard on the radio today that it was like, 180,000 maybe, something like that, passed away from the COVID activity. So, it's crazy. The whole situation is crazy, but thank God that I'm here, man.
Just stay safe out there, because I know we want you back on stage as soon as possible. I know you've been in the recording studio, and one of the things we want to talk about tonight, we might as well start out with it, man. You've got a new single called Beat Rock, Heat Rock off your album, EZz The Pain. Let's talk about that, man. Where'd that come from?
It's pretty much, it's self-titled, Beat Rock, Heat Rock, you know what I mean? On a certain song, they was like, I should let the beat rock a little bit, because it's nice, the words was nice, so I just made it catchy, and it became a song, you know what I'm saying?
They keep telling me, get him, I got him, I got it. Be sniping all my money talkers, they get hit with money shots. Infrared beam, red dotted, killing the game. Still in my lane, shit is so strange, can't even give it a name. Do it like it's nothing, it ain't no thing. Like a head full of nothing, that's without no brain. Frankenstein, every line probably had your mind screwed. While you frontin', I'm in front and you think I'm behind you. You think I was airborne back in 92. Fly on some real ill shit, call it swine flu. Ahead of my time, I look behind and see a blurry clock. Put my past behind, hope I don't turn around and see the cops. They look in my mom's eyes and see my pops. The reflection of a blessing got me wondering what I got on my block. I just partied with my real fan, man. Shit so hot, where a nigga catch a real tan at. They told me let it be.
And I was just, basically saying, they told me to let the beat rock. I just gave them heat rock. Simple and plain.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. And just all the other music, man, we featured on our last call. Like I said, we've had a lot of time to record right now, with everything going on, not being able to, perform live and all that. But, I think it's a good opportunity to keep putting music out, because I know, you're getting listens, you're getting streams, and, you're out of the Philly area. But, it's like with the streaming, you can touch people all over the world with your music. And I know a lot of places overseas are starting to really pick up on the hip hop scene. And, so tell me about some of your marketing. I mean, how do you market some of your stuff? And, what do you recommend out there for like our listeners, some of our newer artists out there, some of the hip hop artists out there? I mean, what do you do to kind of separate yourself from the others?
Okay, well, answer your question, like as far as my marketing, I've been focused on, you got to set a goal. You got to say, all right, I'm gonna do this, and you got to actually do it. You know what I mean? It's not even about going on the internet and, I'm bragging all this, I'm about to do this. Yeah, I'm doing this, So I realized I've been quiet lately. I've been so quiet lately. That's my personality, though. I'm observant. I'm a very cool, calm, collective, humble type of person. So I've been working on my own. So I have nothing to say right now. I don't have nothing. It could be a lot to show for, but I like to be accurate when I hit people. So I recommend that right now you come accurate as you. You be yourself, and you just hit them as accurate as possible. And that's all it is. But marketing takes a lot. You could talk about marketing, or I could sit here and tell you about marketing forever. You know what I mean? I've been pushing the same 2 songs. I'm about to drop a whole 12-song album. You know what I'm saying? And I've been pushing the same 2 songs since last November, right? Organic came out November. Beat Rock, Heat Rock came out around March. But that's what you do. You don't just give everybody your product. I mean, my personality is I got a humble personality, so I like to take my time and make sure everything is hitting precise. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I've been working on these 2 songs and putting them out. Last year I came out all crazy, came straight from the door. Here go 4 songs for y'all. Then I dropped the 7-song EP. I feel like I had a lot of regrets with that. I should have gave them at least like 2 and kept them waiting, because right now my numbers been going through the roof. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? So you got to improve your marketing. You got to improve yourself first. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things might follow and might even you know, happen to the good of your situation by mistake. And that's what's going on with me right now. I'm getting a lot of things right by accident.
Yeah, I mean, you're a hard worker, so I don't know that it's by accident, but you know, you definitely have a good process in how you record. Speaking of that, now, I mean, when you go to the recording studio, when you go in and start recording, what's your process like beforehand? Like, are you real quiet? Are you real, you know, do you kind of focus? You're real focused, like you don't want to talk to anybody, or are you more hyper? I mean, you get hyped up before you record. I mean, what do you do before you actually hit the microphone?
I'm actually super focused. I come to the studio with headphones on, you know, and I'm in tune. I don't like to be around a lot of people, period. So, you know what I mean? I it's not about, honestly, my energy is always there. Okay? You know what I mean? No matter what, nobody can, you know, knock my focus off, but, you know, I just like to be focused, number one. Doesn't matter what's going on. This is something I always wanted to do my whole life. So, you know, it's going to be what it be. But I just like to be focused. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then, you know, also when you write music, this is something I was going to ask you last time, but I wanted to ask you this time. When you write music, have you ever had like that song that's like a perfect storm? Like, you know, when you just sit down and you just have it in your head already. Like, some people take like a week to a month to write a song. But do you ever had that perfect storm where you just like sit down 5-10 minutes and you have the whole thing wrapped up?
Yeah. That was a great question. That was a beautiful question. It varies. I'm the type of person I can be unpredictable. I'm kind of like Kobe Bryant's basketball game. I'm very, very unpredictable. So it's like I can come up with a song in 5 minutes. I can come up with a song from a conversation. I can take from this interview right now and come up with an album. But that's just it's how my thoughts. It's all about your thought process. Are you know, I don't know. Like I used to play around and make music for no reason before I ever even thought about rapping. You know what I mean? And I used to just come up with songs being goofy, you know what I'm saying? And that's it can come from now that I'm actually doing music. The music can come from anywhere. It can come from a conversation with somebody. It can come from, you know what I mean? So it's very unpredictable. It's very unpredictable. You know what I mean? I'd rather just leave it at the unpredictable part.
How is being in Philly? Because I live down the street practically from you. I mean, Philly is just down the road from me. But, you know, Philly's a huge music city. You know, it always has been, you know, from way back. The early days, you know, and I mean, just the great soul music and great, you know, hip hop scene and pop scene and, you know, Chubby Checker, you know, it just goes on and on. I mean, being from such a music rich city like Philly, I mean, you know, how important is that to you as an artist to kind of represent your city, not only your genre of music, but the city that you come from and that you perform in? You know, is there added pressure on you as an artist to perform well?
I don't believe in pressure. I don't believe in competition. I believe in being me, and, you know, if I'm not accepted, I don't care. You know what I mean? But it's very beautiful to be different right now. I will say coming out of Philadelphia, it's very beautiful to be different right now. I don't sound like no artist ever that came out of Philadelphia. We might be similar in a way because of, you know, the culture, the you know, the lingo. But other than that, it's like my music, you know what I mean? It's very beautiful. People tell me this is every day. I walk through the city every day. I ride through the city every day, and you know what I mean, people tell me this. It's a beautiful thing, and that's what gives me more bragging rights to hold down Philadelphia also too. I can't even lie. And it's, you know, it gives you the push in the back. You know what I mean? Everybody, people are starting to look for a difference right now. Nobody want to keep hearing. You know what I mean? It's the same as like a repetition.
Well, yeah, man, I agree with you, and I know one of the things that kind of sets you apart too, you know, being in the hip hop world is, you know, you're looking for ways to, you're always looking for ways to, and we've talked about this off the air, but looking for ways to kind of add different elements to your music, like saxophone, let's say, or instruments that might not be historically hip hop, but it you know, it gives it a different element. Because I know jazz is really important in your music, so it really kind of gives that you know, kind of an homage to, you're paying homage to really the jazz scene, which I think kind of paved the way for a lot of different artists, you know, back in the day. And now, you know, I mean, hip hop, you know, you think about it, hip hop, you know, from the 80s and 90s, I mean, you know, hip hop really kind of started around that time frame. But, you know, before then it was jazz and soul and you know, and it really kind of evolved, I guess. But, you know, jazz, I think, is an important element to any music at this point, right?
Oh yeah. Especially to me. I mean, you hit it on the nose, you know? You hit it on the nose. I put the saxophone behind, you know, I went and got saxophone stamp, you know what I'm saying? So you hit it right on the nose. Jazz is everything to me. I don't even like to hear, sometimes I don't want to hear no singing. I don't even want to hear rap. I just want to hear the instruments. You know, I always like the saxophone. And if you wanted to ask me, you know, what's my favorite instrument, it'd be the saxophone. I feel like I am a hip-hop saxophone. I really do. I really love jazz. I loved it so much that I think that it rubs off. It rubs off on me lyrically. I'm sorry, I'm outside on the phone. You know, they like to ride. They ride crazy in Philadelphia. You know, the bikes, all that. You got all that going on right now. I got my Corona.
You're having a Corona during the coronavirus pandemic.
You know, you got to make it clear.
You got to. No, right?
Yeah, man.
Well, man, let me tell you, you know, we've known each other for a little bit now since you've been on my show. I mean, like I said, we kind of talk off air a little bit, but the one thing I do notice too as an artist, you know, like I said, we have a lot of artists, and this is what the show is all about, is really the indie artist. And, you know, and one of the things that I think impresses me the most is you surround yourself with good people, and you surround yourself with people that, you know, you bounce things off of. And I think a lot of artists don't do that enough. I think a lot of artists think that, you know, their talent's going to take them everywhere, and they don't need to collaborate. And I think for me, you know, knowing that you bounce things off of me and others in the music business, I think says a lot about you as an artist, and the fact that, you know, collaborating with people in the business, you know, you're going to get some feedback, you know, maybe not always what you want to hear, but, you know, but that's what makes you better as an artist. And I think that's something that I think our listeners should really, you know, take a lesson from you. The fact that you reach out to people and say, hey, what do you think of this? Or what do you think of that? What should I do here? What should I do? You know, I don't think enough people do that. So kudos to you for you know, surrounding yourself with people like that and getting feedback. So I think that's a great thing that you do.
Yeah, crazy thing is, I had somebody tell me stop doing that, like asking people for opinions. They said my shit is hot. Anything come out my mouth is gonna be fire. So just drop it. You know what I mean? And I took that and I said, you know what? That was nice. I like how you put that. You know, I'm not a cocky person, but I like how they put that, because, you know, I'm not the type of person who believes. I let go of my pride. I found a blessing in my pain. You know, I learned that from listening to the late Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I learned a lot of things from him. But if they can learn from me, Dave, hell, hey, man,
yeah.
To each his own. You know what I mean? To each his own, and I would appreciate it. You know what I mean? Because I say a lot, and I actually do what I say. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I be trying to catch up with myself when I talk because it's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really on to something right now. So one thing I do want to be is a great influence to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one of the things I just want to switch. I want to switch gears just a little bit, and I know with you know, not only the pandemic, but you know, recently, you know, the world, not just the country, but the world has experienced you know, kind of an uprising in the and you know, social justice issues and different you know, things that, you know, should have been at the forefront years and years ago, and unfortunately it wasn't. But now, you know, I think with some of the protests and some of the movements that are going on, I think, especially in Philadelphia, is one of the main, you know, cities that a lot of the movement was happening, or is happening still currently. But what does that influence your music at all? And what are your thoughts on the state of the world right now? And is this something that you're happy to see happen, or is it just frustration because this should have been happening a long time ago, and that we shouldn't even have to be doing this, right? I mean, it should already be, people should already be looked upon as being, you know, equal in society, and it's just not. And, you know, I just want to get your thoughts on that as an artist.
Well, speaking on my behalf of everything, my happiness is doing what I always loved to do. It was like, you know, I can't lie. I pray for this. I wake up, I pray for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I put in work for this, and nobody can take it from me. So that makes me happy. I feel like everything else is just an obstacle course, you know. You have to work. You have to. Even if you feel like it's not, you know, sometimes you might feel like you can get discouraged. Some things you know, you're not gonna be perfect at everything. You're not gonna always hit where you want to hit. You know what I'm saying? But when you do hit, that's the moment you live for. That's the thing. Like, I'd rather for people to grow into my craft, right? And me just keep on promoting my craft, keep on doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? I really never got frustrated with music, because every time I felt like something wasn't happening fast enough, I would get a phone call from somebody anonymously about my music and just talking to me, and then they end up talking to me too long, and then I gotta run and do something. You know what I mean? That's the vibes, though. That's the vibes, Dave, for real. That's the vibes. So it's like, you know what I mean? You just gotta keep doing what you're doing out here, you know, and just keep from being frustrated, because the frustrated energy isn't worth it. You know what I mean? You know, you think about it. At the end of the day, it's like you could have just kept doing what you was doing.
So let's talk about your album. You know, you said you have 12 songs about to drop, and, you know, talk about the album EZz The Pain, and you know, first of all, what can people expect from that album? I know the song Beat Rock, Heat Rock is one of the singles, but what are some of the other songs on that album that people are going to get excited about?
Oh, man, great question. It's funny, but I told myself I really wasn't gonna. Yeah, that was a great question, Dave. Great question. I told myself I kind of had a sixth sense that you were going to ask me that question. Okay, Dave. I didn't want to tell anybody about what I had going on the album, Dave. Like, no, I'm messing with you. But no, for real. This is for real. Now, I got a song, right? I got a song called Through My Set of Eyes, right? Through My Set of Eyes. Beautiful song. Mellow, nice vibe. It's highly lyrical. You know, it's going to be underrated because, you know, my fan base ain't all the way there right now, but, you know what I mean? I'm just going to keep hitting them in the head, but I got a few of them. Also, I'm trying to put together a nice feature with somebody. I'm not gonna say any names. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just leave it there. But look for my song Big Living. You know what I mean? I can say that, but I can't lie. A lot of times people choose, so that's why I don't like to say anything about it. I just like to drop this. You know what I mean? Drop that right on them. Boom, boom, bang, 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 boogie. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like to do. I like to do that because you know what I mean. It feels better. It does. It feels a whole lot better when you can just be quiet and ain't really.
No, that makes complete sense. So now after this 12-song album, I mean, you can take a little time off, or you're gonna go right back in the studio again after this?
Man, listen, man, I'm always trying to get in the studio, trying to get me slot me some studio time, man. When the engineer's hired, you know what I mean, or when the engineer, you know what I mean. I'm always trying to slot me some studio time, man. I need me about. I'm the type of artist, right? I need to be in a studio all day, 24 hours, right? You give me 24 hours, I'm liable to come out with at least a whole album if I ain't trying to perfect 2 or 3 joints in there, you know what I mean, going back and forth over the joint, you know what I mean, because I like perfection, you know what I'm saying? I don't like to just go in there and do some fast job that's not actually done. You know what I mean? If I don't feel like it's done, we gotta run it back, baby. We gotta run that shit back. Yeah, that's how I am. You know what I mean? We gotta run that shit back, baby. If it ain't right, we gotta get it right. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get it right. So, but I like to be ready when I go on that joint all the time. I like to be ready when I go on that joint. I'm sitting on like so many songs right now. You know what I mean? So many songs right now. I'm just sitting on them, lingering on them. You know what I mean? But I've been liking the way I've been going lately. I've been making songs within 5-10 minutes. Like, not even songs. It's about the hook first. My hooks. You know what I'm saying? I love making hooks now. I done started making these hooks now.
It's all about the hooks, man.
Yeah, it is. It really is, Dave. It really is. You said it. You said it yourself. You know what I mean?
I want to put you on the spot right now, and I want to ask you a question that I asked some people, but I'm really curious on this question. So if you were to collaborate with anybody in the world, I don't care who it is, who would that be and why?
That's a very great question. It's so many. You know what I mean? I can't lie. I listen. I do listen. Some people, you know, they catch my ear. Some people go one ear and out the other. But it's a couple that do not go in one ear and out the other. Like, I'm not gonna lie. I always my OGs of the game, number one. You know what I mean? Every OG that I feel like right now, you know who I would love to do a song with? I would love to do a song with. You know what I mean? Number one, like right now, will be like I don't find this weird, but you know, Cool G Rap. I want to get DMX in the studio. I want to get the Locks in the studio. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to go. I want to make music, good music. You know what I'm saying? Like great music. So it's like I want to get like it's a couple people who knew. I kind of can't name them all right now because I haven't really been listening to music like that. But to the newer guys, I would say I wouldn't mind doing a song with, you know, Polo G, you know, Roddy Rich, Dave East. These are artists who are lyrical right now, but they actually still got their wave. Of course, J. Cole, man. Don't let me forget. You know what I'm saying? Of course, J. Cole. But what I'm saying is these artists are lyrical, but they still have the energy to actually get on a song with me. You know what I mean? Like they do. They have the energy. I read people. You know what I mean? So it's like these artists tend to stand out to me a little bit different. I'm probably missing one. Lil J.I. too. J.I. from New York. He be going in. I like the John he got. Blame Me John. Blame on me or something like that. Yeah, that joint hot. But it's a couple artists. You know what I mean? Honestly, I'm so versatile. You can probably throw me in there with any of them. You know what I mean? It's all business. But I'm not. You know, I'm not even gonna. You know, discriminate the art of what they do. I just like lyrical music. You know what I mean? Like I want lyrics to be. I want you to be able to hear me, feel me, laugh with me. You know what I mean? Or every emotion. You know what I mean? Because that's what we have to do as artists. We go through every emotion.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
We still, take our responsibilities, but we go through every emotion.
If you were to blow up and be in every household name, like everybody knows who you are, Jimmi EZz, they all know who you are, and what would your goal be? Like, in the next 5 years, let's say that you blow up and you become a big star, and do you want a reality show? Would you want just to just keep doing music? I mean, what would your long-term goal be in the entertainment business, I guess, if you were to blow up? What would you want to do?
I used to tell myself the same lie that they told me growing up. They told me the sky was the limit. Found out that's a lie. Sky is not the limit. You can cross the limit. Yes, you can. You can do whatever you put your mind to. My brain is dangerous. I just want to use my brain because my brain follows my soul. I speak from the soul. So a lot of things that I do is very soulful, which is which is the whole purpose that I was put here for, to hear a jazz sound. I heard jazz music and I took off and I ran. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very soulful. Jazz is soulful, very relative. So all I want to do is talk to the souls of the people out here. Some people don't even believe they have one. They don't even know what it is. Thank God for my mother.
Yeah.
Thank God I got a soulful mother. She grew me up on jazz and a lot of old school. A lot of pictures was painted different. So
yeah,
but that was a blessing. A lot of people don't even know what the picture is. They don't even know. The paint. They don't know about the paint because they don't know about the picture.
No, that's a great answer. Great answer. Well, hey, Jimmy, man, I can't thank you enough for joining me again on my show, and can't wait for people to listen to Beat Rock, Heat Rock on EZz The Pain, and and everything else that you have online as well. So I want to just again thank you, and let's tell everybody how to find you on your social media so they can hear who Jimmi EZz is.
Oh yeah. It's always a pleasure. My pleasure. And Dave, you a great guy, man. You know that. And I know that.
Thank you.
It's always good. It's always good being on your show, man. I mean,
I appreciate that.
So I appreciate it. You like an OG to me too. So, I gotta come through, pay my dues. Jimmi E, double Z. You know what I mean? Paying my dues. That's all.
That's awesome. I appreciate that. So you find Jimmy just by Googling Jimmi EZz, JIMMIEZZ. So you're on all social media platforms. You're on Spotify. You're on Apple Music. You're on everything. So everybody look up Jimmi EZz as soon as you possibly can, because you're not going to be disappointed. So again, Jimmy, thank you so much, and I can't wait to have you back on the show. Well, you take care and be safe, and love to your family, man.
Oh yeah. I love you like family too, Dave. It's all good on my side, man. Can't wait to see you pull up on me. You know what I mean? We got some things to do. We ain't gonna talk about on air.
That's right.
we got a little mission. You know what I mean, to complete.
That's right.
So
we sure do.
Definitely, man. It's all love.
That's right. All right, man. Well, you take care, man. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Likewise. I'm out of here.
And I was born a thoroughbred like my mom's playing that. And I be seeing through shit like everything's saran wrap. It's like I leave footprints where I stand at. Make sure I get a